track night in America. What's the big deal? Now, whether you're a seasoned track veteran or completely new to motorsport, you might have heard of SCCA's Track Night in America. Now, I got my very first opportunity to go ahead and attend my very first SCCA Track Night in America. So let's break it down and see how it was. Oh, bet! Yo! It's Tuesday. Not just any Tuesday. Can you hear that? The eagles screeching, the tires burning, because it's America. But not just America, it's SCCA's Track Night in America. This is my first time doing an SCCA Track Night in America. This is Full Octane Creations, where we give you guys that motorsport good. We're about to run through what it's like to be at an SCCA Track Night of America. This is my first one. We are here at MSR Cresson. So we're gonna experience this for the first time. We're gonna bring you guys along, document the whole thing, might give you guys some tips. So stay tuned throughout the video, because it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a good one. As always, it's that motorsport good. It's motorsport happy hour.
It's happy hour again. I think I might be happy if I wasn't out with them and not happy.
That's what this feels like, because we didn't go to work today. We're here instead, because priorities and being an adult means you get to make your own decisions. So let's get this fiesta and this party going. Before we jump on track, let's take a look at where we're driving today. This is MSR Cresson, also known as Motorsport Ranch. Yeehaw, mother! It was opened in the year 2000, and it is one of the very first motorsport country clubs in the US. It's located right outside of Fort Worth with several track layouts. Now, this track holds a very special place in my heart. It's actually where I attended my very first HPDE. Now, what that stands for is High Performance Driver Education. It's where I learned everything about trail braking, brake zones, everything you need to know about learning to be a better driver on track. Motorsport Ranch is more than a racetrack. There's race shops, tuners, motorsport, automotive businesses. Motorsport Ranch has multiple layouts, great paddock space, and you'll probably be able to see your fair share of spec'd out Miatas. Now, just like any other track event, I was pretty hyped. But what made it different from HPDE? Let's find out. What is going on, party people? We are here at MSR Cresson, Track Night of America. Now, today we will be driving on the 3.1 configuration. This is their longest configuration that they have, so it will be my first time driving that. I've driven the 1.7 just once going clockwise and once going counterclockwise. We'll see how it goes. We have about 15 minutes until driver's meeting. So tip number one, always come a little early.
That's what she said.
And come a little bit prepared with whatever stuff you might need, which we'll walk through here in a little bit. But come early or else you'll miss the barbecue here at MSR Cresson. When I tell you the barbecue is so good, it's so good. Tip number one's important. I missed the barbecue. Now, MSR Cresson, there's a gas station right outside with a barbecue joint that's at that gas station. And it is one of the best barbecue joints I've ever been to. I love it. I don't know what to say other than, like, here in Texas, we take our barbecue pretty serious. Just like the track, I like food. If you haven't had barbecue, I don't know what to tell you other than if you're ever in Texas, get some barbecue. If you're ever at Motorsport Ranch, get there early to get some barbecue. Let's show them the car. This is my 2019 Subaru BRZ, the wannabe track monster. If you guys haven't checked out the videos of all the installs and all the things we've done to this car, you should check them out. But she's mean, she likes to hustle, and she likes to get down with it, and she's got that booty. So we're gonna see what we can do out here on the 3.1. I've never driven it. I drove it on the sim for probably like 30 minutes before this, so we'll see how it goes. But we'll see how track nights compare to HPDEs. So far, a little bit more relaxed. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see. We'll see. So before we can party, we went to driver's meeting. Now, driver's meeting wasn't too different from HPDE. Basically went over a lot of the similar things in terms of track guidelines, things to look for out on track, the flags, what they mean, stuff like that. Driver's meeting was informative. Now, I didn't sit in on the novice session, so I'm assuming they kind of went into a little bit more detail, whereas if you weren't a novice, they kind of already assumed that you've been on track before, that you knew what you were doing. They still went over the important stuff, but it was a little bit more laid back. For the novices, like I said, I didn't sit in on that session, but from what I was told, they had to stay a little longer to kind of go over that, because for some people, it's their first, second, third time on track. Driver's meeting is over, so always make sure, tip number 3, pay attention at driver's meeting, because they go over stuff about the track, you know, the flags, corner stations, what to do, procedures, stuff like that. So it's always good to pay attention at those. Very important tip there. Like I said, make sure to stay until the end of the video, because we got a very, very important tip that you're going to want to stay for. But driver's meeting is over. They just let the advanced group out, so that means we get to go next. I got the GoPro set up. Got a new helmet and a new mount, so might be a little bit of a different angle. We're gonna try some stuff out. What's cool about track night is we get to have passengers in the car, which at HPDE you typically don't, because it's a little bit more strict. So a little bit more laid back so far. But we'll have Care and Brian in the car. It's Brian's first time on track, so we just popped his track cherry, so we'll probably have him in the car too if we can get that, make that work. So I'm ready to have some fun. It's first time on the 1.3 or the 3.1. We're not running transponders, so that's the other difference between time trials. So I'll still use Track Addict to track my time. So I have a reference the next time I do the 3.1 in the future of where I'm at, how much I've improved, stuff like that. So we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun, a lot more laid back. How was it, buddy?
Scary. I was getting gapped in front of me, but yeah.
No, dude, it's fun. Do you want to take a ride with me?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So after I got out of driver's meeting, the novices had already gotten done with their very first session. It was Brian's first time on track. It was great being able to experience that with him. Just like I got to experience that with Jacob, two of my really good friends that I met through the motorsport community. Now, when I had first gotten to the event, I was under the impression that we could have passengers in the car. So I misread that.
No passengers.
Oh, no passengers?
Actually, no passengers. Sorry.
Oh, shit. Okay. They told us we could.
No passengers.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry, that's just one of the things that can't happen.
Okay.
I apologize.
No, you're fine.
You drop them up here, and you
Yeah.
can head on out.
All right, cool.
You're Blue River, correct?
Yeah.
We were this close to making it out on track, so unfortunately, Brian didn't get to drive with us, but that's okay, because there'll be other opportunities. He still had a lot of fun, and he got to drive his new car at the limit, which is awesome. I was really happy I got to experience that with him. Obviously, they kicked him out of the car. I went on to do my session. It was great at first, because I had all this space in front of me to catch the pack and learn the track. I didn't have to worry about people behind me that were quicker than me. I could just go at my own pace, learn the track. But then something happened. Someone's car in our session broke down. I don't know if it was like a wheel or they went off, but essentially there were yellow flags everywhere. We had to slow down and they pulled us all off track. It kind of sucked because it grouped everyone up again. By the time they got the broken car off track, they released us and we were all in a train. So when you're on track, typically it's common courtesy to do what's called a point by, which essentially means that the person behind you is quicker. You need to point them by to let them know to pass you so that way they can keep on going. Not everyone in our session understood that. So a lot of us were stuck in this really long train, and the rule is you can't pass someone unless you're given a point by. So if the person in front of you is slower and doesn't give you a point by, you're kind of stuck. So essentially what happened was there was one car that was holding everyone up, and we were all stuck in a train for more than half the session. In those cases, typically what happens is you get waved a blue flag, which essentially is the corner workers telling you, hey, you're slow, you haven't given a point by, give them the point by. So even after some of those blue flags were given, there was still no passing. So that session kind of sucked. So after the session, they brought us all in to kind of have a huddle up and kind of talk over some of that track etiquette. They kind of dumbed it down and said, hey, this is a casual event, but in order for everyone to have a good time, let's go and be smart. If you're slow, start at the back. If you're fast, go ahead and start at the front. And so after that, I went ahead and lined up towards the front. Now, I ended up being the third person in the next session behind two Corvettes. Now, there's a lot of fast cars in our session, so I was like, dang, I know I'm fast, but I didn't think I was like the third fastest in our session, so I was kind of nervous going back out there. It was just the last spot that was left without being in the very back again. But at that point, I was stuck there. I was willing to give point bys if I needed to. So after that, they released us out on track, and I did my best to keep up with those Corvettes. Now, my car doesn't have a lot of horsepower. Corvettes do. In a way, it's kind of fun not having a lot of horsepower to try to keep up with those type of cars, but it's also scary because you got other cars behind you that have to pass. So all in all, that second session went by pretty well. I think I only gave one pass, and I had most of that session just trying to catch up to the Corvettes. No one was really catching up to me, so that let me know I was in a pretty good spot on track. People were giving point bys and things of that nature. Eventually caught up to the back of the pack and was given some point bys. So overall, second session was really good. It was really cool being able to drive at MSR's 3.1, especially since I was told that configuration isn't driven a lot. So that was also an opportunity to drive a configuration that not a lot of people get to drive. So that was cool that Track Night of America was able to pull that off versus HPDE, where they normally do the smaller configuration. So I guess that segues to the next couple tips. Track Night of America isn't a competition, it's just a track session. So be courteous of other people, give those point bys. No one's out there to win trophies. Everyone's out there for the same reason, which is taking advantage of an opportunity to drive their car fast. Now, that being said, everyone's just trying to have fun, so make sure that you're taking advantage of the opportunity and have fun. Hustle.
Hey everybody, let's hustle!
So another difference between HPDE and Track Night of America is that you're not giving as much sessions as you would in HPDE, because in HPDE it's over the whole day. So typically a Saturday or Sunday, starting from the morning all the way up until the evening. Whereas Track Night of America was on a weekday, done at night. So it was 3 sessions squeezed into a really small time frame, whereas HPDE is 4 sessions squeezed into a longer time frame. So I didn't really have a lot of time in between sessions to film, go over footage, data, set up stuff, because the purpose of Track Night of America was more casual. It's just to go out there for fun, not for competition. So that being said, third session was fun. I was pretty comfortable with the track by that point, and so were the other people in my session. Everyone got really fast. A lot of battles between people trying to catch up to each other. So it was all in all really good fun. I enjoyed myself. So after the third session was done, we got to do what was called a parade lap. Circling back to my misinterpretation of being able to have passengers in the car, they were talking about the parade lap. So I didn't know what to expect. I went ahead and took Care, my girlfriend, along. It was her first time in the car on track with me. Since most events you're not allowed a passenger, so that's kind of why I was also excited about Track Night of America, because I thought we were able to have passengers, but that was only for the parade laps. My first impression was I thought the parade laps were just going to be really slow for people, the general public, to be able to just say that they were able to drive their car on track. We weren't required to have our helmets. Going into it, I thought, oh, this is just going to be slow, but it might be fun for Care. So we all lined up. They released us out on track, and then the car that was pacing everyone was driving a little quick. So I'm thinking, oh wow, this is quicker than I expected. Let's start sending a little bit. Gave us some good pace during the parade laps, which actually kind of made it fun. That being said, Track Night of America, good opportunity to just expose yourself to the track environment. It's a good opportunity just to race, at tracks you might have not raced before, or do configurations that aren't normally offered during the normal track racing season. So all in all, my experience was pretty good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different than the normal style videos that I do, but I thought, hey, we're having fun. I want to document my journey in terms of growing as a driver, building myself up. So hopefully if you're watching this, you got some value out of it. If not, let me know what I could have done better in the comments. Let me know if you guys have any questions, or if there was anything that I didn't talk about that you guys want to know. It's all down there. This is Full Octane Creations, where we give you guys that motorsport good. That being said, I owed you guys a tip. So number one tip about track driving is everyone's always out there to go fast. Everyone always wants to be competitive, but at the end of the day, don't forget to get lost in the moment and remember why you do the things that you're passionate about, why it's fun. To me, motorsport is one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my life. So if you're watching this, you might share that as well, but don't forget to have fun and get lost in the moment. Being able to drive your car at its limit is something that not a lot of people get to do. And it is absolutely one of the best feelings that you'll ever experience. Pursue your passion. Don't get lost in the sauce. Embrace the moment. We got more content coming your way. This is Full Octane Creations. Until the next video, peace.